Hi students, today we are going to study about units and measurements, chapter 1, class 11 NCERT. Long ago, people used to exchange goods. They give some quantity of materials and they get in return some quantity of materials. As days passed on, people want to get the quantity of materials what they give, the same amount of materials they wanted in return. So they want to have some measurements, and to do the measurements they require some reference point, and that reference point is what we call it as units. We are going to study about these measurements and units in this chapter in detail. In olden days, different parts of the people had different reference points and measurements. As days passed on, scientists want a single reference point and measurement to be followed all over the world. We are going to even study about that in this chapter. And the conversion of one reference point to another reference point. For example, 1 kilogram to 1000 grams. How this equality is being made. We are going to even study that in this chapter. Gold rate nowadays it's increasing drastically. You go to a jewelry shop, you purchase some amount of gold and it gives a measurement of 5.67 grams. How much important is that 0.67 grams? That is also we are going to study in this chapter, my dear students. Units. Measurement of any physical quantity. Physical quantities are nothing but anything which is measurable will come under physical quantity. So measurement of any physical quantity that is accepted to international reference standard. That international reference standard is what we call it as units. For example, mass, the reference standard what we have is kilogram. Time, the reference standard is second. Length, the reference standard is meter. Volume, the reference standard is liter. Likewise, we have many reference standard, that is international reference standard, means that reference standard is followed all over the world. That's what we call it as a unit. And the number of units is less compared to the number of physical quantities, because the measurable physical quantities are n number, and the units what we have is very less. So what we do is, there are no single unit which is used for many physical quantities. For example, work is measured in joule. Energy, even that is also measured in joule. Speed, we measure it in meter per second. Velocity, even that is also measured in meter per second. So for a single single unit is being used for different physical quantities. Types of units. We have two types of units. One is fundamental unit, another one is derived units. Fundamental units are otherwise called as base units. We have almost 7 fundamental units. They are the base for all other units, because those fundamental units are being used to derive other physical quantities. So fundamental quantities are quantities which do not depend upon any other physical quantities. But derived physical quantities, obviously they depend upon other physical quantities. Fundamental quantities, for example, mass, kilogram, length, meter, time is measured in second, and temperature in Kelvin. All these are fundamental or otherwise called as base physical quantities. Derived physical quantities, like area, it depends upon two quantities, meter square, and speed, meter per second. It depends upon both distance as well as time. Momentum, kg meter per second. All these will come under derived quantities because they depend upon other physical quantities. The combination of both fundamental and derived quantities, that is what we call it as the system of units. SI unit. SI, Standard International System of Units. In olden days, different parts of the world followed different system of units. We call them as CGS, as I told earlier. CGS is followed in France, and FPS is followed in Britain, and MK is again followed in France. Different parts of the world follow different measurements. But say for example, you measure something here in India, the length is measured in meters. Somewhere in other part of the world, when it is measured in foot, it's not fair. So scientists thought that there should be only one reference measurement standard to be followed all over the world, and that is what gave the standard international system of unit. There are 7 basic units, and with the help of that there are many derived units. These are the 7 basic units we have: length, which is measured in meter; mass, which is measured in kilogram; and time is measured in second; amount of substance, which is measured in mole; temperature, which is measured in Kelvin; electric current in ampere; and luminous intensity in candela. The difference between mass and amount of substance. Mass is the quantity, overall quantity. Amount of substance is individual atoms. That's the only difference in these two measurements. These are the basic 7 units using which other derived units are being used.